So each tree, different breed seems to be doing differently, dealing with the cold. This is my Kesar, and it's maybe thicker than the Bombay, which has the new growth coming out right now, as far as the main trunk's concerned, and more branches. But it doesn't seem to be doing too good. No growth yet on this. I had this wrap just like the Bombay, and I had the same kind of frost cloth on top of it. But so far, I don't see any growth. I'm gonna trim off some of the edges because it looks real nasty. Some of the fungal growth on there and everything, and you can tell. I mean, that's anthracnose on there, so black mold. Who knows? So just get out. That's gone. That's gone. You could feel it the second I snip into it. I'm gonna cut this on the top area just so I can get a feel for it. That's gone. Oh, that's gone. I mean, you could feel it. There's no moist resistance. I mean, you can differentiate it after a while. Yep. These are all gone. Might as well. Sheesh. These are all snapping off pretty easily. These are so dead that I don't believe this will be stressing the tree out any at all. I mean, these are like just hanging on and putting more weight on the tree than anything else. And the wood's pretty light when you cut it compared to the moist wood, so you feel a little bit of weight when you're cutting it. I'm gonna leave a lot of the branches, the structure on there until, because I don't want to cut where it's moist, like down here, to reduce the stress on the tree. I don't know how that really works. So, and at the same time, I want to give it a little bit of structure. I haven't been overwatering it or anything like that. I don't want it to rot. Okay, see there, I felt a little bit of resistance, that moisture resistance. So, but the leaves are pretty. Let's see how this does. I'm really hoping this one comes back. So I planted it as a 25-gallon. The fruit was nowhere close to how a Kesar should be. I had a lot of fruit though. So in some breeds don't taste so good the first time they bear fruit, but they come to their normalcy, I guess, after a few times of fruiting, like 2 or 3 times. So I'm hoping that was the case with this, but that's pretty dry. Oh yeah, might as well let it breathe a little bit. And you can cut it so easily with these tiny shears. See, that felt a little moist. That's dry all the way. All the way. See, right here. Perfect example. It felt dry up here, like super dry, but I didn't want to risk anything on the bottom. But guess what? There's sap coming out of there. Ha! Look at that. Perfect example of what I was trying to protect. So if there's sap coming out of here, there's some circulation inside the tree. So I'm hoping this will survive. Good. Now that I've left that section, hopefully there will be some life out of it. But what gets me is there's sap coming out of there, but then on the bottom over here, you have those beetles going in. So, God knows how this works. I mean, we can all sit here and pretend to be experts, like I do sometimes. But we're all learning, and no one really knows how this stuff works. There's so many things we don't know about mangoes. Anyway, so let's get chopping into this. I'm not gonna. So my strategy seems to be right. Just cut off the extremities until you start feeling a little bit of. I'm gonna leave that band on there, let it support for a little bit. So this branch is important to preserve because of the sap that's coming out of there. I'll let it. Yeah, that's pretty dry. So there goes my Kesar, the big Kesar tree, the second biggest tree I had in my orchard, and it's down to this. Let's hope that this has some growth on it soon. See, this is what worries me, is these beetles going in there and burrowing into it. That tells me there's no sap in there, but at the same time it's leaking sap from up top over here. So like from right about here. So I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Let's see what happens. I mean, this tree's been in the ground for almost 2 years now. So let's give it a shot. My Kesar.